Kaelyn Kastle is a pop artist born and raised in Bermuda. She is often compared to Rihanna for her free spirit and daring personality. She was first signed at the young age of 14. She released her first album in 2016, Love, Drama, Dreams. Kaelyn then moved to the United States at 17 years old to further her music career. Kaelyn has built her social platforms to over 500,000 followers combined.
Try to imagine your reaction.
Kaelyn Kastle.
Hey.
What does it feel like to be on the verge of stardom?
Honestly, it feels humbling because it feels like everything that I've worked for is finally like coming to fruition, you know? You know how when you like work so hard at something and then you see like minimal results?
Yeah.
Now it's starting to feel like the results are, you know, everything that I prayed for and worked for.
Wow. That must feel amazing.
Yeah, it feels very, like, honestly, it can be breathtaking at times because you're just like, wow, I'm really in this position.
Wow. So, what is your earliest memory of realizing this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I feel like I've wanted to do this as long as I can remember. Like, my grandmother used to own a nursery, and I used to just sing, and she used to put on these like little Christmas plays, graduations, and I would just want to sing all the time. So I always wanted to do this. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like even when I went to university and I got the degree and I started working in marketing, it was like I had to knock myself back into it. Like, this is not what I want to do. So,
Wow. So, would you say that this was your dream as a child?
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I'm still working towards my dream, but I'm definitely on the right path.
Why did you decide to pursue singing?
Because it felt like every time I sang or even was I don't know, it just felt like I was always influential. Whether it be to kids or, you know, people just always gravitated towards that aspect about me. And when I started doing it on the internet, it was just like people started coming out of every, like, I don't know, every different direction.
It was your destiny. It
Yeah.
is your destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm living in it. Now I'm living in your dream. What would you say the hardest part would be with all eyes on you?
The hardest part, I would say, is sometimes you feel like this isn't what you're supposed to do. Like,
Right.
even where I am, I still doubt myself sometimes, you know? So it's pulling yourself out of that mood and being like, look, you're here now, just get up and do it.
Right. Right. What keeps you going?
My parents, everyone that supported me keeps me going, because sometimes I don't know, it's like God sends people at the right time constantly. Like, some days I'll feel down and I talk to my parents every day, my mother especially, and she'll be like, oh no, this is just keep going. Or like sometimes, like, I don't know, it'll be 5 minutes of my day where I'm just like, I don't feel good about this, that, and the third, and then I'll open my Instagram and I have hundreds of messages, or like 20 or 30 messages from people just giving me encouragement, or them being like, I made it through the hospital while I was in cancer. Like, there's this one person that keeps reaching out and telling me about her story, and she's been super inspiring to me, that she watches me for inspiration. And I'm like, whoa, like, your messages are keeping me going. And, you know, you never know whose life you're going to touch. So that's kind of what keeps me going.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's really amazing.
It is.
What would be your advice for up and coming artists?
To, honestly, it starts, like, my advice is, you don't really need all the fancy gadgets to get you where you need to go. You know, like, and as a videographer, I'm sure you can relate with that. You have to start with something. It might not be the best camera in the world, but if you start, it puts your foot in the door.
Right.
You're a little bit farther than, you know, someone that's not doing anything at all.
Yeah.
So with me, everything started on my phone, my little iPhone 6, whatever I had at the time, you know? And if people like you and if they like what you're doing, that's the easy way to start. Give people what they want about you.
Right. Wow, that's crazy because I started on my iPad.
Really?
Yes,
Okay, girl.
I was like, I'm gonna make it happen, okay? No matter
Yes,
what, you know?
right.
Being the face of your own brand, how do you live up to the pedestal on an everyday basis?
I feel like being the face of my own brand, I separate myself personally from my brand. You know, like I don't even have to remind myself at this point. Now I know the difference between Kaelyn Kastle with a C and Kaelyn Kastle with a K. Anything brand oriented, you know, on the camera, because Kaelyn Kastle with a C, I'm a reserved person. I go home and I just want to be in my room. I just want to be in my room. No, for real. Like, I just go home and I'm very to myself. I'm very conservative. I'm very, you know, just sheltered, like, in my own little space. I just like to be by myself. I'm happy there. You know, no one bothering me, blah, blah, blah. And Kaelyn Kastle with a K, I just feel like that is, you know, my alter ego. Like, I live up to the pedestal because I know that everything brand related has to be done to a certain standard.
Right.
So Kaelyn Kastle with a K, we don't play no games when we come to her. Like, she has to be on it, 100% of the
P's
time.
and Q's,
Yup.
on her P's and Q's.
It's crossing them T's and dotting those I's.
So, are you saying that your name is spelled with a C?
Yeah, my real name, my family name is spelled with a C.
Really? Kaelyn or Castle?
Kaelyn Kastle with a C.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow, I didn't even know that.
really?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh.
You talked about separating, you know, Kaelyn Kastle with the K and Kaelyn Kastle with the C.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage balancing your personal life and your business life? I think it's all about a balance, you know. So how would you what would be your advice on that?
For me, I have just found that you need to learn when to switch it on and learn when to switch it off. And the people that you keep around you, they need to also understand. Because right now, I've had to separate myself from a lot of people because they think that Kaelyn Kastle with a K is, you know, they don't understand the separation between the two. Like, this is that phone, anything that goes on that account, that is work. You know, this is not. It may look like it's fun and games, but at the end of the time, at the end of the day, it's a business to me.
Right.
So that's my baby. That's something I need to hold precious.
Right.
And I have to explain to people sometimes, like, if you work at a bank, I can't come and sit at your desk with you. Right. I can't come to work with you. Why do you think you could come to work with me? Like, if you don't have any value to the brand, then you're hanging out with Kaelyn Kastle with a C.
Right.
Right? If we're not working together, if we're not trying to break bread together, make any money together, then you need to hang out with Kaelyn Kastle with the C, because Kaelyn Kastle with the K has nothing for anybody that, you know, isn't there to add value to the brand or understand the value of my brand, because people will tarnish your brand very quickly if you let them.
Definitely, definitely. How do you deal with the criticism and keep moving forward?
Honestly, I take criticism as, I just like to see that people are, you know, however you feel about me, you either like me or you love me. Like, I mean, like me, love me, or you hate me. There's only one, you know, there's no in between with me. You either don't like me or you do. So criticism to me, it just kind of rolls off of me. I like to know how people feel. And if there is someone that does feel negatively about me, then there's probably a group of people. So I like to listen out. Like, I've been in arguments on Twitter where people have said a whole bunch of stuff and flipped it. I flipped the whole conversation. Then they love me by the end of the conversation because I'm like, oh, wait, you really feel like you feel that way about me? Like, hit me in the DM. Let's talk. And I know there's going to come to a point where there's going to be way too many people, because now I feel like there are way too many people to constantly, you know. But that's why now I try to take a lot of the conversations broadly on social media, so that if there are a group of people that do feel some way about me, I can explain it to everybody at one time, and we could just hash it out.
Yeah. Born and raised in Bermuda, a young girl with big dreams. What would your advice be to, you know, a younger person that has big dreams like you once had?
I would say go for it, honestly, and don't worry about who's supporting you, because support's gonna come. So in the beginning, no one really ever supports you. No one supports you. So, and don't think that just because people aren't supporting you, others won't. You know, so that's my biggest thing. Just do it just because that's what you want to do. And, you know, people will hop on as you grow. And don't feel like you need to have animosity towards people because they didn't support you. You know, like I support everybody, even people that don't like me. I've seen people post bad things about me, but if I see them doing something good, I'm going to post you because it's hard to, you know, especially in Bermuda, it's hard to do something and be great at it because a lot of people are constantly criticizing you and feeling like they're tearing you down before you can even get anywhere. So just keep going.
Okay.
Someone's going to recognize your greatness.
Yes.
Just keep going.
That's great advice. So you live in Atlanta now.
Yup.
You left Bermuda.
Yep.
Why?
To be bigger. I feel like everything that I accomplished here was all that I could do here. My goal is to come back and do something greater here, but at this moment in time and where I am in my career, I needed to be around people that do what I do, walk the way I walk. You know, I can't say talk the way I talk because, honey, we got an accent, but, you know, I just needed to be in a space with mutual people that's constantly trying to grow.
Wow. What's next? What's next for Kaelyn Kastle?
The Collab Crib. I don't know if you've seen, but we were in the New York Times for being one of the first influencer houses in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are the first Black influencer house, and the house is, you know, when we say influencers, we mean creators, and we have a whole bunch of creators in the house. Everyone, there's rappers, singers, filmmakers, actresses. You know, we've all come together to blend and integrate our following to become something bigger than what we actually are already. And yeah, I'm super excited to be, actually, you know, I'm blessed to be a part of the experience because I was chosen to do it. And, you know, it's really humbling to see that people are watching. People are always watching, you know. Sometimes you feel like you're just working just to work. People are watching. And, you know.
How can people, you know, check that out?
Honestly, is in your face as soon as you open up social media. The moment the Collab Crib came about, we were in talks. It's been a viral sensation. Yeah, the Collab Crib is huge right now.
So you guys all live in one house?
Yes, we're all living, breathing, eating, sleeping in one house. It's a mansion. Let's not call it a house. It's huge. It's huge. So, yeah, I'm excited to be a part of it.
Okay, that's exciting. Are we hearing any new music from you soon?
Yes, honestly, I feel like it's gonna be a great year, 2021. I'm excited to compel myself into something that makes me uncomfortable, because uncomfortability for me, I always do well. So, yeah, let's see where this goes. You're gonna see some new music very soon.
Thank you, Kaelyn Kastle, for coming and sitting with us. And, you know, where can people follow you and check your music out?
You can follow me at Kaelyn Kastle on everything. So it's Kaelynkastle. And thank you for having me. Like, I'm excited to be here too.